HCAM programming is supported by our viewers, thank you, and by Phipps Insurance Agency, representing companies such as MapFree Insurance. Their family-owned independent agency is deeply rooted in the communities they serve and offer time-tested insurance products to fit individual needs. Since 1950, Phipps Insurance specializes in home, auto, business, condo, and renters insurance. Hello, everyone. Welcome into HCAM News. I'm HCAM News Director Tom Nappy, here to fill you in with what's happening in Hopkinton. On today's edition of HCAM News, the latest in Hiller sports, plus much more. But first, we caught up with Hopkinton Water and Sewer Manager Eric Carty and talked the latest weather trends and more. Hello, everybody. Tom Nappy here, and we are joined by Hopkinton Water and Sewer Manager Eric Carty. Eric, how are you?
I'm doing well, Tom. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. We've been getting some snowy weather, and we're going to talk about the weather trends. But first, I'd imagine you guys have been pretty busy over at the DPW dealing with this weather. How's it going over there?
Yeah, so we have had a lot going on, a lot weather related and just a lot in general. So we've, with all this rain we've had, we've been inundated with floods at our wells and our sewer stations. So that's kept us real busy trying to prevent our pump stations and our well stations from going underwater. So we spent a lot of time doing that, trying to make some adjustments and cleanups. We've had so many tree limbs down and power outages, just a lot of cleanup from the weather. But on the other side of that, we got some good news. We finally had our PFAS filtration vessels installed last week, so that's a big step forward in that project. So that's scheduled to come online in the late spring, and that will remove the PFAS at well 6. So that was good news to get those in.
Excellent. And did I read the other day that there was some kind of pipeline break, or am I imagining that?
So we've had a couple of water main breaks. I think we're coming up on 3 weeks ago. We had a break up on the corner of Maple Street, water main break that we had to repair. So we this time of year, with that really cold weather we had, and especially going from warm to cold back to warm, is when we get a little concerned there. So thankfully, over this past weekend, when we went almost 5 straight days with below freezing temperatures, that's the first time that's happened in 4 or 5 years. That used to be the norm for winters, but now it's abnormal. So, generally when that happens, we usually get some freeze ups in the basement. Some of the old fieldstone foundations here in town will get caused, but this time we did not, so we were lucky.
Well, hopefully we won't get too many more of those freezing days. It was very cold for a couple of weeks. And speaking of the weather, you track the weather and you send us the weather trends pretty much on a weekly basis. And we just posted the latest weather trends yesterday on our website, hcam.tv. Tell us about what to expect in these next few months. I see that coming up this week, it's going to get into the 50s a little bit. But are we going to stay in that warmer trend, or are we getting some of that cold weather back? And what can we expect for snow?
Yeah, so it's been, just real crazy the past couple of years. So if you go back to almost a year ago, February, January was very mild. Actually, I remember golfing last January down in Rhode Island. But then in February, we had one of the coldest days on record. We had a minus 12 degree, and I remember that day well because we were out working, unfortunately. So, just the extremes. We had a minus 12. Then the spring and summer, we just got inundated with rainstorm after rainstorm. I think it rained 11 out of the 13 weekends during the summer. The fall, again, in late September, October, we had another constant set of rainstorms come in. And then that's kind of what's set up here recently. We had, unprecedented in the month of December. We had 2 4-inch rainstorms in the month of December and within a week. So we had 8 inches of rain within a week, which for December is, thankfully we didn't have snow. That would have been 8 feet of snow to do it. But just the way the jet stream is setting up, it's just elongated all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. So it's just picking up all that moisture and dropping it right on top of us. So along with those 2 4-inch rainstorms, we then turned around and had 13 inches of snow, and then abruptly went right back to warm again and had another 3-inch rainstorm that almost flooded us out a third time. So it's just crazy. We just seem to go from one extreme to the other. So yeah, as you noted, we just got back through that 5-day sub. It never went above freezing for 5 straight days. Looks like we've got a warming trend all the way now through mid February. Just looking at the latest models, it looks like we're going to be above normal. There'll be days here or there that go down and be cold, and this Monday is going to be not go above freezing, but overall above through the month of February. And then it looks like maybe the end of the February we could go back into another cold snap after that. So it's just crazy weather. You look out west, they're flooding again. The Pacific Northwest, it's just has basically a jet stream is just blowing straight line rainstorms right over them, and then we end up on the backside of that a couple weeks later. So just crazy weather pattern.
Well, I guess you never know what to expect in New England, right?
Exactly. So it was
So,
nice. Actually, got to go skating this weekend too. It's the first time we've had safe ice for the first time in 2 years too. So,
all right, did they set up the rink this
well, I
weekend?
did it right in front of my house. So I went skating out in Maspinock in front of the house, put the net out there, and we were out there skating. Got a couple days in before this rain here will and snow. Looks like we got another 6 or 7 inches coming this Sunday possible. So that'll take care of the ice.
Now, how do you determine if the lake is stable enough, frozen enough for skating?
So that's a good question. And this year is a little more concerning because of how much rain we had. We've actually had to try to the lake is actually filled back up after we had it drained down to its normal level for the winter, and we drain it every year for two reasons. One, to help try to control the weeds, and the other is to make sure that the ice doesn't build up and push against the dam structures and docks and other things that ruin them. And we had it down to the level, and then all of a sudden we had, like I said, those 4-inch rainstorms came in, and the lake, when we have those rainstorms, if we have a 4-inch rainstorm, the lake will fill up as much as 7 or 8 inches just because of the way the watershed is designed. All that water just flows right down in there. So we've struggled. So we've had the dam pretty wide open. So even though we had this ice, there's still a lot of moving water under there. So I'll actually go out and check it with a bar just to make sure. And we had it, roughly around 2 to 3 inches. And right in front of my house, when it's down to where it is now, it's not that deep to begin with. So it's only like 3 or 4 feet to begin with. But I always try to check it because you never know. And you always want to be safe. And the bar is the best way to check it. And you have to check in several spots because there's certain areas where the channel actually flows underneath, and those will freeze less than the other areas.
Yeah, we certainly want people to be careful if they're going to go out there ice skating. And so you mentioned you installed the new water tank. How long did that project take?
So that's still undergoing. That was just a big part of it, waiting for these vessels to come in. So they've been doing work since late fall. There's a lot of underground work, piping changes that have to go on. This is the first above ground work. They poured the foundation, they put these vessels in. Now that's in, when the weather breaks, they'll have to come back, and there's actually I don't want to call it a tent because it's a little bit sturdy. It's almost like the Patriot practice bubble material that will go over that to house it. And then there's some other tie-ins and things. There's computer work that has to be done. So it's going to take until the late spring before everything's finally completed, and we were able to have that up and running online.
And that's a great segue. You brought up the Patriots, so I have to ask, what are your thoughts on the whole Bill Belichick situation and Patriots bringing in Mayo?
Yeah, so I was surprised, not surprised. I knew Bill would his time here, they were probably going to honor his wishes because of what he's actually done for the franchise. But it seems like everything was starting to get a little stale there, so it was almost like it was time for a change, maybe to get somebody new in there to do it. And it was interesting to find that they had written into Mayo's contract that he would be the next coach. I wouldn't have seen that coming until we heard that. So that's good for him. He's been around a long time, experience. So we'll look forward to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm a little bit worried about them not bringing in a GM, though. I think they should bring in a good GM, but I don't know who's going to run the football operations. It's kind of interesting over there right now.
Yeah, yeah. Hopefully they, get a good committee and take the best person available. They have a lot of needs, so that could be at any position.
Absolutely. And lastly, any prediction on when we'll start to see the spring weather come in? Or is it too
So
early?
it's almost like the seasons have moved. It's historically the past 3 to 4 Marches have been really cold, and we've had actually quite a bit of snow the past 2 to 3 years. So it's almost like March, instead of being the warm month coming up, is turned into like the last month of winter here. So I haven't seen that far out the projections yet. So we'll have to probably wait a couple weeks to see that.
All right. Well, Eric, thanks so much for talking with us. We'll certainly catch up again in a couple months or something like that and talk about hopefully some good spring weather coming in. But thank you so much, and best of luck to everybody over there at the DPW.
All right, thanks, Tom. Always a pleasure.
We are going to take a quick time out. A whole lot more HCAM news ahead. Don't go anywhere.
HCAM News is supported by our viewers and by Hopkinton Drug, located in this historic New England town since 1954. They are a multifaceted store dedicated to providing clients with an array of healthcare options.
Actually, just the glory. We asked 100 fourth graders, what is a state in the western part of the United States?
Come on, world map, where are you?
Confident.
Confident?
Very confident, apparently.
Fabulous.
I'm Cindy Donda, and I'll see you there.
Saturday morning cartoons are back. Every Saturday at 8 a.m., HCAM's Toon Time has an hour of classic cartoons, from Betty Boop to Superman to Popeye to Bugs Bunny and more. You'll see your old favorites and discover new ones. So tune in to Toon Time, Saturdays at 8, and start your weekend off with a laugh.
HCAM is supported by our viewers. Thank you. And by the Hopkinton Independent newspaper and online news site. The newspaper reaches 100% of the homes and businesses in town, and the website is updated daily with exclusive Hopkinton content. Readers can receive a daily newsletter and breaking news alerts via email.
Welcome back to HCAM News. A busy week of Hiller sports took place last week. Here's the latest highlights. On Wednesday, January 17th, Hiller boys basketball hosted Millis. The Hillers led 17-13 heading into the second quarter.
To DeLuca. Kicks it out. Iannelli for three. Knocks it down. Exactly what the Hillers needed there. They were a little cold to end that first quarter. Iannelli down the lane. Feeds it out to Willetson. He'll launch the three. Yes!
The Hillers outscore Millis in the second frame 14-7 to head into the halftime locker room up 31-20.
Iannelli with it. Gets it out to Willetson for three. Yes! Cooper Willetson. Dejan down the lane through the defenders. Hits the bucket and draws the foul.
Hiller's offense outscores Millis 21-17 in the third quarter and would end up taking the game 68-41. The Hiller boys improved to 8-2 on the season. On Thursday, January 18th, Hiller Alpine Ski took the slopes.
Time for event number 1002, Elizabeth County, 28.47 on the blue course number 802, Lila Mono from Hopkinton.
Rankings for the Hillers included, on the boys' side, J.B. Flynn ranked 7th, Barry O'Brien 15th, Patrick Meehan 22nd. On the girls' side, Lucy Mado 9th, Lila Mado 17th, and Annalie Krantz 19th. On Friday, January 19th, Hiller girls basketball hosted Bellingham. Principal Evan Bishop and myself were on the call. The Hiller girls knocked down some threes in the first half.
Over. Restaghini up top. And now a 3 attempt, and it's good.
Grady?
Megan Grady feeling it.
That's how to get the offense going again.
Over the corner, up for 3, yes.
Grady.
Megan Grady. Back to Flanagan, Paharik now. Over to the corner, up for 3, yes.
Oh, she's hot.
Megan
Yeah.
Grady feeling it.
Yep. Nice seal off screen right there from Whiteman Krause, too, on a low block.
There is Elder, and it's collected by Whiteman Krause. Here comes the Hillers. Paharik to Grady. Grady for 3, yes. Megan Grady from the left side.
The Hillers led 21-10 at the half and ended up taking the win 45-33. The Hiller girls snap a 2-game losing streak and improve to 8-4 on the season. On Saturday, January 20th, Hiller girls hockey hosted East Bridgewater. It was a scoreless game late in the third period.
Getting in the way, Perdoni. McPherson sends it to the slot, and a backhander. Good save off the Grotman shot by Riley Cholera. Ready for it. Oh, it's put in! What a shot there by Lucy Jean. Right off the face-off.
Can't go any better than that right off the face-off. Looks like Spooner was a little bit stunned by that shot.
I was a little bit stunned by that shot. The score comes at 3:08 left to go in the third period, and Hopkinton DS able to take advantage of the power play.
Absolutely.
Over Finnegan, back to Jean. Jean to Finnegan. Finnegan puts it towards the net, turned away. Secondary shot, it's in! Goal for the Hillers! And that was Maddie Barroso making it 2-0.
Another power play goal, Tom. Just goes to show you those penalties can be costly.
The Hillers net 2 goals in the final 3 minutes and 8 seconds and take the win over East Bridgewater 2-0. The Hillers improved to 2-10-1 overall. HCAM has a new game show for students called Bragging Rights. Here's a look at the latest episode.
Do we have leaves? Nice try, nice try. Aaron, going over to you.
Give me trees.
Do we have trees? Very nice for 8 points. Way to go. Gwen?
Squirrels.
Do we have squirrels?
There's so many squirrels in the world.
Grey's Anatomy.
Do we have Grey's Anatomy?
How old are you?
They watch it in class. I've watched them watch it in class.
Eli?
I'm gonna go with Breaking Bad.
Do we have Breaking Bad?
No.
I've never actually seen Breaking Bad. Gabe?
That's a TV.
SpongeBob.
Do we have SpongeBob?
Gabe! Gabe, you're throwing.
It's a
Gabe! You threw. Gabe, what's in the garden? What's in the garden? Eggplant.
Do we have eggplant? Whoa! Okay, Eli. Gabe?
Blueberries.
Do we have blueberries?
We could have
You guys had quite the streak going there. Very impressive. All right, Team A. Lucas?
Same.
Peppers.
Peppers? Do we have peppers? Nice try, nice try. Aaron?
Basil.
Do we have basil? Hey, very nice. Herb. And Gwen.
What's a fruit?
Feel free to confer.
What's a fruit? Grass.
Do we have grass? Lucas?
Pumpkins.
Do we have pumpkins?
Is it eggplant?
It's squash.
All right.
All I'm saying is.
Great round, guys. Let's see what's behind 6. Are you ready to reveal some answers?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. What's behind 6? Squash. Oh.
I don't see you winning on the board there.
Congratulations, guys. Congratulations to Team B, who won with 98 points. Congratulations, guys. Woo! And Team A, thank you so much for playing. Thank you so much for tuning into Bragging Rights. And don't forget to tune in next time to watch more students compete for the Bragging Rights. I'm Siddhidanda, and I'll see you then.
The select board narrowed down the fire chief search to 2 final candidates and conducted public interviews with the finalists.
We initially screened 11 applicants that were put forward to us. We chose to interview 8. And from that group, we invited 4 really impressive candidates to participate in the assessment center. And then we are tonight presenting 2 well-qualified candidates for the final interview.
Happy New Year. I appreciate being invited to this step of the process. So again, my name is John Ignatowicz. I'm 44 years old. I live in Pelham, New Hampshire, which is about 48 miles from here. Interested in the fire service from a very young age. My mom used to sit me in front of the TV to watch Emergency, and then that graduated into the Boy Scouts of America Explorer program, where I really got my first taste of the fire service. From there, I was hired on a call department in my hometown, and I began my true education from there. Graduated high school, went on to college, eventually was hired full-time with Pelham in 2001, and I've been there ever since. Promoted to lieutenant in 2009, deputy chief in 2022 in an acting role, and then most recently, unfortunately, our fire chief had an injury and he was out, so I filled in as acting chief since then. On my personal life, I'm married. We have a beautiful home up north that we built with friends and family and my wife. We like to get up there and break away and kind of relax with other friends and family, and that's about it. As far as Hopkinton, what interests me in Hopkinton, very similar size to Pelham, although it's a little bit bigger. It's the next step. A little bit busier, more personnel, greater room for growth for my career, and I think for anyone in the fire service, it's a lifestyle where you want to take the next step, and I think Hopkinton will provide that. Well, I'd like to thank the board for giving me this opportunity tonight in the search committee. For everyone that doesn't know me, I'm Gary Doherty Jr., the intern fire chief emergency management director. I've been in this role since June 11th. Since taking over, the staff and I have responded to 2 major incidents and 1 major storm. I have drafted a I co-authored a $1 million AFG grant. I'm producing an LNG response plan for the fire department. We are increasing the amount of trade at the LNG plant. We are working to improve our relationship with Everson. Additionally, since taking over, I've laid the groundwork for numerous projects. For me to get here, this journey actually started in the early 90s when I enlisted in the Air Force. I was an Air Force firefighter for six years, got out, came to Hopkinton, been at Hopkinton 20 years. Since joining the Hopkinton Fire Department, I became a paramedic. Obtained my bachelor's degree in fire science and a master's in public administration. I'm also a Massachusetts credentialed chief fire officer and fire prevention officer. In the near future, I will be graduating from the chief fire officer program at the Fire Academy, and I look forward to working with the board and the community further. Why Hopkinton? Yeah. Well, Hopkinton, I love Hopkinton. My parents moved here in '97. I worked for the DPW that summer, painted all the sewer pumping station. Went into the Air Force, came back, been here 20 years. I've seen this town grow from a small little town to a diverse community of over 20,000. During that time, I've also seen the fire department grow. We're predominantly on-call department, career fire department. What I like about Hopkinton is the challenges that it offers a fire officer. You can be on the Mass Pike to a scenic road. We have residential houses, commercial buildings, and industrial buildings. We have hydrant areas and non-hydrant areas. Each of them offer a different challenge to a fire officer. I also like the support that the board and the community give us.
Communication and, always meeting with the town manager and other department heads, that they could always all be informed, and recognizing that other departments will have information that they need and vice versa, just keeping the lines of communication open. I thought they both did well on that.
Points, I think both candidates interviewed very well. and I think we'll be well served with either of them. However, I think Gary, with his, as he stated, a turnkey situation where he has the experience here in Hopkinton and the issues that are unique to Hopkinton, really kind of really struck out to me. But I thought John was excellent in his management style, in his approach to management versus leadership, and he's definitely a capable candidate.
I thought that he answered his questions as well as he could, and that he would be a great chief anywhere. But I thought Gary just has the knowledge of Hopkinton. He just has the budget. He has everything to hit the ground running right now. And that's what we need, I think, at the moment.
It's time to tell you about some happenings in town you should know about. The Hopkinton Public Schools need to name its new elementary school, the replacement to the Elmwood School, and they are looking for the community's input. You can find the details on our website, hcam.tv, but please give your input to naming the new school, which will replace Elmwood School. Couple pictures of the week to show you. The Hopkinton music students earned selection into the Central District MMEA Senior Concert Festival. You can read more at hcam.tv. And also, congratulations to the Hopkinton High School 2602K robotics team as they won an award for excellence. This photo is courtesy of Mr. Scott on Twitter, who can be found at Mr. ScottBot. Upcoming town government meetings include on Tuesday, January 30th at 6 p.m. We'll have the Select Board meeting live on HCAM TV. And on Monday, February 5th at 7 p.m. we'll have the Planning Board meeting live on HCAM TV. To view all upcoming town government meetings, head over to hcam.tv/gov. And for more information, you can head to the town website at hopkintonma.gov. Believe it or not, we are out of time for this edition of HCAM News, but don't worry, next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. we'll be back. For everyone at HCAM, I'm Tom Nappy. As always, we thank you for watching. Take care, enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye, everybody.